I consider myself a little bit of a daredevil. I
Yeah,
like to
yeah,
take
yeah,
risks.
yeah, yeah.
You've seen it, you know.
Yeah, you definitely need to prepare for that.
But
yeah.
with the time off, like I was so anxious to get back from this that I just realized it was like, man, I got to do Mania. And like with an Achilles rupture and the type of rupture that I did, they were telling me like anywhere from 4 months to a year and a half. So it's just like, it's one of those injuries, like, and I talked to Beth a little bit, like Edge sent his, regards and everything and said if I need any help, or anything, which is really cool because I'm a big fan of Beth Phoenix and Edge. So, it's weird because I don't want to rush back from this because of the likelihood of re-rupture. Yeah. And it's not a normal rupture, which like rupture is torn in half, but I also stripped it off the bone too. Yeah. So like Woods just cracked his in half. I royally messed it up, you know. Yeah. So it's
and
weird.
How'd that happen?
I don't want to talk about it. It was
almost like slipping on a banana peel.
It's
that's one of those type of deals.
Sad.
That's the way injuries happen, though. Injuries happen. When it's supposed to, when you've done something 100 times, or just something very, very simple.
Like, so I know this is gonna hit the dirt sheets. Ready? So we were in San Francisco for a Raw and a SmackDown, and I don't remember if there was a pay-per-view before, but I knew they were like, but people were on tour or something, and I was not, so they were like, hey, Ember, like a day before, Saturday night, Sunday morning, hey, Ember, can you be at Raw Monday? And I'm like, oh. Well, I guess I'll be there. And I got really excited because I'm like, oh my God, are they doing something with me? They're bringing me to Raw. And I'm like, yes. And so I get there and they're like, yeah, you're working Lacey. Lacey's over. We're doing this thing with her and Natty. And I was like, oh, okay. And like, I love Lacey Evans. Like, I've known her since day one, the first day that she walked in the PC. And I was like, you know what, let's go, girl. Let's go out there and kill it. And she was just like, yeah, whatever, And it was a really cool moment because it's the first time I got to wrestle her on TV. And I had so much fun. Made it to the hotel, getting ready to do SmackDown the next day. And they were like, hey, Ember, you're in the 24/7 title run because Carmella won the night before. And I was like, oh. It's like, y'all sure? Y'all sure y'all need me for that? Like, I just, what's weird is like when you have like a bad feeling.
Well, you got to
feel
it. You got to feel it next time that something happened there. So I had a feeling,
and I was like, ooh, do we? Okay, cool. You know what, team player? Screw it. I got this. I'm in, So we do, and I think all the other girls were wrestling that night. So I think it was like Mandy, Sonya, Asuka, Kyrie, maybe. There were only like 5 of us doing this run, right? Yeah. And so we're doing the run throughs, and everyone's like nervous because it's West Coast, so we have way less time to prepare for the show. And people are like, I don't have my makeup done. Yeah. And so I just remember, like, you know what? I'm gonna try to make everyone laugh because this is like hilarious, and people are just like so uptight. And I remember just being like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna do a cartwheel round off, flippity do that, and so
do something stupid.
And so
it's easy. It's easy night. It's a night off.
But people are just laughing. And that's what it was for. And so we get there. So like we do the run through, boom, right? I told Truth, I was like, Truth, you better run. I'm gonna catch you, Truth. If I catch you, I'm tackling you. You're going down. And so when we actually did it, I literally caught them right before we went through the curtain. So they go through the curtain, and they didn't realize how close I was behind them. And I was like, ha ha, so we go through the curtain. As I'm coming through, the curtain shuts, I open it, go through, Truth is dropping Carmella, and I have to hit, it's from me to you, and I'm going full speed, and reaching to, and I had to hit the brakes, and I just was like, whoa, boom, and I felt it pop. It felt like a scratch, if someone just went like this on the back of your heel, and I was like, huh, crazy, and literally I was like, huh, that feels weird. Get this though, made it all the way back to Dallas. So we had red eyes that night, and I remember just ooh, that feels a little weird. I went to the airport from the San Francisco arena, and I think it's because I had my wrestling boots on, so my little shooters. I think it was holding it all together. That's because there's no way I should have made it home, but I wasn't in pain. I didn't have any bruising, didn't have any swelling. I made it all the way, landed in Dallas, and I'm getting off the plane. My foot just feels weird. I was like, damn.
Didn't want to work.
I was like, this just, all right, and I can't really put a lot of weight on it and stuff. So Anyway, my husband comes and picks me up. We make it to the house, and I just one of those like, oh my god, this couch, like I was out. And I remember like I slept from like 7 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. I was so tired and so exhausted.
I know those days.
And I went to get up to use the restroom or something or food. I don't know. I was tired, and I just fell. And my husband like comes out. He's like, "Are you okay?" It's like my foot's not working. He's like, "Are you in pain?" I said, "No, my foot's just not working. I can't put weight on it. I can't walk." Like, and so he's like, "All right, come here." And so like I sit down and I'm just trying to
move it,
like, and I can
extend it.
I can point it. I can't flex it. And I'm like, I just don't know. It just doesn't work. He's like, all right. So we went and we took pictures of the back, and then I called WWE and I said, hey, because it freaked me out. Like, and I was like, something is wrong. Like, but I was in no pain, no swelling, no bruising, nothing. Like, which if it's bruised, you tore something. Like, I had none of that.
Yeah.
And so I call one of the doctors. I said, hey, something's wrong. And they're like, oh, what's wrong? I said, my foot isn't working. Like, it was one of those like really sad conversations too, because it's like I need to go get an MRI, I need to go to an ER, but I wasn't like committed to saying I was hurt.
Yeah.
And so it was like
still no swelling.
Still no swelling.
Wow.
Nothing. And so even I had ice on it, and then I was like, I don't think I need ice because it's not. I didn't see like it looked the same. Nothing.
Wow.
And so I'm sitting there and I'm talking to them. They're like, all right, well, we'll get you MRI tomorrow morning at this place. Just go and, so I go to the doctor the next morning, and because they basically thought it was a different tendon, which they're like, oh, you just sit out 3 weeks and you're fine. You can put weight on it. You're not in pain. This is what I think it is, but let's go get an MRI, make sure, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, so I'm like, oh, it's only 3 weeks. Da, 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 da. And then I get there, the doctor basically sits me down. He's like, what's wrong? I tell him what's wrong. He goes, how are you walking? And I'm like, I don't know. And so he basically touches the back of my heel. And he goes, oh, yeah, you ruptured your Achilles. Just no MRI, no nothing. And I was like, no.
You got an MRI after, though, right?
Yeah, so I did not believe him because I talked to them. They had given me the best case scenario here, and like, so, and I'm like, nah, brother, we're gonna do this MRI tonight, blah blah blah. And so he's like, well, I'm getting ready to go, and I'm like, well, I'm gonna need to get an MRI. So I go get the MRI, send it off to WWE, and I mean, they sent me a picture back, and it's clear as day.
Oh wow!
I mean, I am not a medical professional by any means, but look at it, I was like, oh yeah, that's torn. Like, you know what I mean? If you've seen an X-ray, it looks like a foreign language, alien language, But yeah, and it just like it all sunk in, and like it was weird because I was at a very weird point before I left too, and I just got a phone call from someone saying, yeah, it's your time, we're about to do this, and
found
this out within 2 hours.